Looks like we have us a little crisis meeting today here. I called together my top managers because maybe they can help me figure out what we're going to do. Does anybody remember what the top 3 goals of this company are? Of course you couldn't remember what the goals of this company are. I mean, I've only mentioned them at like the last 100 staff meetings. And I have a lot of passion for my work. And I think when they see that passion, it kind of inspires them to do better, you know. I think it's a good thing. I think a manager needs to have a lot of passion like I have. Number 2 goal is profit. And guess what the number 3 goal is? It's profit, okay?
All he thinks about is profit. He doesn't realize we haven't got hardly any help anymore. I got to teach him everything. I have to do the stuff myself most of the time.
So our acronym for our company to help you remember at the next staff meeting is PEP. All right? That's it. That's it. Exactly. You guys are getting it right.
He is so locked and blinded into profits. He doesn't think stuff like that out. And when people try to pull him back, he just jumps all over them.
Because I'll tell you what, that's why I called this meeting today. Because our 3 Ps are in big danger of becoming nothing more than 3 big zeros. Anybody ever heard of a little company in Europe? It's called Eurotrex. Well, of course you couldn't think of Eurotrex. I mean, they only give our company about 90% of our business.
Gosh, you know, he was really in fine form this morning. You know, it's just, he does that. He kind of goes off the edge there and throws things around. He's got kind of some anger management issues, I think.
Eurotrex is now what's called an ISO 14001 company. That means they've adopted the best environmental practices. And they have this new rule that the only businesses they will deal with are companies that also have best environmental practices in place. And then the guy from Europe, oh boy, the guy from Europe, he gives me this stupid little earth ball and tells me that what we do here affects everything globally. Give me a break. I can't believe these European guys coming over here trying to tell me how to run a business. I learned a lot about recycling yesterday. Here's what's in our trash can, my friends. The president of Eurotrex saw this too. He said, we do not recycle anything. He explained that papers can be recycled, bottles can be recycled, plastic can be recycled, and we're not recycling any of it. I didn't know you could recycle paper and cans and bottles. Nobody ever told me that. None of my staff, my engineer didn't tell me about that. And you think one of them would have told me. Eurotrex is going to cancel our contract because we don't have a recycling program. We don't have best environmental practices. You know what? It's been great working with y'all. I suggest you start getting your resumes together. So I don't know what we're going to do. We're out of business. Eurotrex doesn't want to do it. I don't see any other companies on the horizon that want to do work with us.
Well, we could work some kind of sustainability formula, such as the one up there. We have S, which is sustainability, then S to the P
Does
factor.
anybody ever know what this guy's talking about?
Is 1 over sigma squared as a function of the square root of sigma minus what?
Robert, sit down.
You need to listen to this formula because it's a complete base for our sustainability where we can become environmentally proactive.
Yeah, I know, and we need a technical manual, and we need an engineering side. I've heard this a million times.
We do.
Robert kept talking about something called an environmental sustainability factor. What in the world does that mean?
I mean, I'm come here, I work 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day, and I just get pushed aside. All of our people, the morale in the engineer shop is very, very bad, very bad. We do.
Marion's over there furiously raising her hand.
The city of Ventura has a great program for business recycling. I've tried to mention it to you before, but you weren't that interested.
She keeps claiming, she kept telling me something about recycling. I never heard her say anything about recycling all this time.
But all you have to do is call the City of Ventura Environmental Services, and the number, I think it's 652-4525, and they'll send a representative over to our business and show us how to do some recycling and set us up with, and it's free, and it's great. It's really great.
It doesn't cost us anything?
It won't cost us a cent.
Have they done engineering studies on this?
Yes, it's just an incredible process. So all we have to do is just call, but it has to be you that calls and ask for a representative to come here and set us up.
All right, let's give them a call. I'll tell you what, you and I will work on it. We'll give this City of Ventura Environmental Services a call and see if they can help save our company. Otherwise, we're doomed. I don't know. I think it's pretty much a lost cause. I'm gonna call the City of Ventura Environmental Services office and see what happens, but it's pretty much a last ditch effort. I tell you what, I'm feeling a lot better now. Thanks to Marion's suggestion here, I called the City of Ventura Environmental Services office, and you know what? We might have some hope here. We might be able to save this company. City of Ventura Environmental Services office gave me a lot of great tips on how we could start a waste reduction and recycling program.
The recycling information that we got from the City of Ventura Environmental Services office is wonderful. It was free. It's just great.
We're going to temporarily change our 3 Ps. Everybody remember our 3 Ps? We're changing the 3 Ps to 3 Rs.
I gotta write this stuff down so I can remember it. Let's see, R.
You see, it stands for reduce, reuse, and recycle. And our program will include all of these elements of this program that will make us, as ecologically as Eurotrack. All right? We're going to be better than Eurotrack. Is our recycling program going to be successful? Well, if it was just me running everything, I was able to do everything, which I can't because I'm only one person, there'd be a 100% chance, 100% success, absolutely. But the group I have to work with, oh boy, that lowers it down to below 50 at least. I mean, I'd say down on the 30%. First of all, the concept of reduce is you reduce the amount of waste you generate in the first place. From now on the copy machines, no more single-sided copies. We print everything double-sided.
It's going to cause a lot of noise in the office, people shuffling papers around all the time. Let me work that up as far as noise pollution here.
Anyway, so this will not only save us paper, but it will also save our costs. We won't have to buy as much paper anymore for this. So, sound like we can all do this?
It's really wonderful, that Ray's opening up and starting to consider new options. And
another example of reducing your waste. We get these envelopes that we all get all the time in the mail. From now on, instead of just you receive it, from now on, you slap on a new label, write down who you're addressing it to, and you mail it out. What do you think?
It looks like a dumb idea to me.
Well, turn it over. Let's see what it looks like on the other side. Just look, you can use the other side right here. See, just here it is, kind of fresh and new. It's not that big a deal.
And the post office guys, they've been there 40, 50 years. Guys, the post office, they can't figure that stuff out.
We'll look more respectable by reusing.
Yeah.
Because that's the trend now. That's the message. Well, recycling is just, it's so easy, and people just, they see it and it's just like this wall, and they're concerned about hitting the wall when it's just like, here's the door. That's the way the future is recycling, and
How
this
about a
is,
little stamp of it saying that we are reusing envelopes to conserve natural resources,
that
maybe
sounds
something
like
like
a,
that.
Let's get that down as one of our new policies. All right, we're starting to get some movement here.
Robert's a good egg, and I mean, sure, he's kind of hard to understand a lot of times, but he sure does a lot of good things for the company. And
Notice you all drink out of styrofoam mugs, except for you, Marion. From now on, we're all going to use reusable coffee
I ain't
mugs.
carrying that around my truck. I keep my styrofoam cup right there. I can rinse it out and keep it right on my dash every day. And that could fall on the floor and it won't break, and I can use it. They're real sturdy.
You know where styrofoam comes from, Rick?
The oil.
Well, Mr. Eurotrucks explained to me we're running out of oil. We need to conserve oil.
and it takes years and years and thousands of years for it to biodegrade.
Guess who gets the recipient of our first coffee mug? Me, you, Rick?
Oh, man.
And boy, I can't wait to see you driving around that truck
I'm
using
going to
that.
have to get me a darn cup holder or something. How am I going to drive and drink out of this at the same time? I'd rather have one with a lid on, because I'm going to be spilling coffee over, driving down this building area here, and I'm trying to look through, and I'm big picking coffee, I'll be spilling all over myself.
All right, next element of our recycling program, the City of Ventura Environmental Services Office provided us, through E.J. Harrison & Sons, with these paper recycling containers. We're going to have these at every desk in the office. What do you think of that?
Man, we're going to have to empty this plus the regular trash cans.
We got to separate it so it can be
Yeah.
recycled.
Well,
We need to do a labor engineering analysis on this, how much more labor it's going to be
Yeah.
using these boxes and
sounds
everything
like a good
that.
idea.
They've got to do some engineering analysis on it. They have to do some analysis on the work hours. They have to do some spatial analysis on the new recycling containers. They have to do time motion studies, because we may be looking at an increase in labor costs.
One guy's got to empty 2 cans at every office. We got 40 offices out there. That's I can't figure it out right now, but I'll figure it out.
You know what? Since you have such an active involvement in this, you're assigned to get those out to every single
Oh,
desk
man,
throughout the
it's gonna
office.
be
Every
overtime.
office needs.
Yeah, you know, he's a young whippersnapper. He's give me all this stuff. You know, it's kind of new to me, this stuff here. Recycling this, recycling, you know, with this dang coffee cup, you know, how am I going to drive and drink out of that? I don't like those styrofoam things, but.
This is gonna help trees.
Well,
And
that's
all the
good.
resources that are involved in cutting the trees, processing the trees. Now they don't have to do that. They can use the paper and recycle it and make it into new paper.
The more recycling boxes you have, the more trees, net gain in trees you have. It literally is a line that goes on the graph up like that. They're flying
All
together
right.
like
Does anybody know what
a
he's
couple of
talking
airplanes.
about?
They were saying that the more recycling boxes, the more trees. The more people recycle, the more trees they have. There's less trees being cut down.
Anybody understand what he just said? Is it me? You know, important for a good manager to take in the input of all his staff, so I listened very carefully to everything they had to say, how to improve the program.
I was saying it in perfect English, and he didn't even understand that. He's always accusing me of doing formulas and everything. I tried to do this in English, and he still wouldn't listen to me. It's been the problem we've had with the engineering office with this company all along. They just don't listen to us.
City of Ventura Environmental Services Office helped us acquire these wonderful blue recycling containers. Let me just look at these, because see, these are for paper. These will be for beverage containers, all right? Cans and bottles and glass, and these great signs. What do you think of that? Recycle here? Yay!
It's nice to see him become more aware of the earth and environmental practices, regardless of the way it happened. But
All right, so this is it. You guys got your assignments for the program. Thanks for all your wonderful input. Pretty much we're doing exactly the program I decided we're going to do without taking in your consideration. But hey, I appreciate the input anyway.
I guess I'm gonna have to learn how to recycle these items. It says right in the box, recycle these items, so I'll just have to take this home and read it and see if I can make notes and figure out what goes into what.
I think we're just about ready to kick off this program. What do you say? Yeah, all right, Marion.
all right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
This
all
will help
right.
preserve our company. If Eurotrex sees what we're doing, this will probably sustain our company.
That's
we won't
right.
have to resign, and we can stay longer.
There's hope. Through recycling,
We'll see.
there's hope. You know, I really am looking forward to having all these recycle bins at the desk. I think when that Eurotrex president comes back, if we can ever get him to come back again, he walks around that office and sees all those recycle bins in all the offices. Well, he's not going to call our recycling program dismal anymore. I can tell you that.
Hey, excuse me there, man. I got a requisition for to pick up these extra containers. You got 1, 2, 3. You're only supposed to have one of these cardboard doodads and one of the blue ones.
No. You don't understand. No, see, I need
Yeah, but
these.
see, no,
I
I'm
don't want
taking-
to give up these. No, I need
Well,
these.
no, you got to have.
Well, no,
One-
see, no,
no.
see, I
So you
need
got
this.
that one
Yeah,
and-
but that one's getting full, and
That's
this
all
one,
you
know,
need.
okay. I'm
It's
starting
in
to go through other people's garbage cans and picking out their
No, you-
recyclables
see-
out of the garbage, and that's why I need these to fill up every
my
day.
boss-
I have been, going through other people's garbage cans at night for those who aren't recycling specifically, and taking their paper and putting it in my bin, and their glass, and those people that are still kind of, not quite on board.
You don't understand. See, I got this.
All right, I'm
requisition.
willing to give
See-
up this,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
But you know what? I'm not willing to give up these, because I'll tell you why. These are very important, because there's so much paper
I know.
that people are still
I
throwing in the
tell you
garbage
what,
can,
my
and I'm still
guys
having to
are,
pull them out.
they're pulling their hair out now. They got to empty that trash can. They got to empty garbage.
Yeah.
They got to empty recycling. They got to
But
empty.
it's the same amount that they're having to take out. I have an idea. Why don't we talk to Ray about a communal recycling can for the paper, like a group recycling can in
Yeah.
one spot.
Well,
But
that might
our work ourselves, we can. This is no big deal. I could walk over to there, empty it myself,
Yeah.
and bring it back to my.
Well,
It
yeah.
doesn't have to be pristinely empty all the time.
No, this one and this one. You have two left.
How about this? I'll give up the blues. I have a real hard time giving up the square ones.
Yeah, but see, make sure you
All
get the rate to put it in writing, so I
Okay,
can get
all right,
a
I'll
work
do that.
order.
Yeah.
Because I can't do nothing without a work order, man.
right.
You know.
I'll go
That's
ahead
gonna
and let you
cost me
take
more work,
this.
too.
Yeah, I'll
I
let you
got-
take
got
that
guys
to
complaining
alleviate the
they're
work
working on their
order.
lunch hour now.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
okay.
empty.
Follow your orders, and we'll United Front talk to Ray at the next meeting.
All right.
All right, that sounds good. I'm willing to compromise as
Okay,
well.
I'm gonna empty
All
these
right,
now.
good to see you, Rick.
All right.
All right. Good luck. Bye.
I think she's taking it a little bit too far. I think I think if we have a communal place where we can take all the paper and put that there, and have some of these people in these offices, they could go out and dump their trash can in the thing, you know.
Well, I think the best idea is to have a communal recycling bin, large, in the copy room, and then all staff empties out their boxes of paper into that large communal recycling bin.
I was just doing a little quality control walking around, and I found this recycling container out in our break room area.
Good.
Yeah, well, you think it's good? We'll take a look at it.
Oh, that's all recycling.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I agree. This is great. You know, plastic bottles, say, you know, CRV value, that goes in the recycling container. Yeah, exactly. You know, aluminum cans. Sure, that's recyclable. But doesn't everybody know here that styrofoam is not recyclable?
That styrofoam went flying. That was interesting. It was nice to see him concerned as far as what was being placed in the recycling bin.
Mr. Eartrix comes here and he even sees a little tiny piece of styrofoam. We're finished. You understand? Styrofoam is not best environmental practices. No more styrofoam, okay? I think Rick threw that styrofoam in there. I caught him one day driving through by the office, and I saw him sipping coffee. And I know it's a styrofoam. I saw him put it down real quick when he saw me. How's the double-sided copies working out there, Robert?
We made a partial gain by being able to double side this stuff.
Good job. I didn't hear words like gradient or.
Well, you see, if you went by the square footage of this piece of paper and tried to double side it, then you have to factor in the hypotenuse.
He's just trying to yank my chain. I can tell.
But right, sir, so, you know, he's doing the best he can.
And like I say, some of the double siding is good. Some of the double siding is all right for this. But for this, of course, you know, you have to be realistic. Man. We can't be doing on engineering schematics and diagrams. It's just not going to work.
All right. I'm chilling a little bit. I got it. Okay, we're gonna ramp up the recycling program. All right, we've got the paper recycling beverage containers. We're gonna have compost. Check this out. These are going by all the coffee machines.
Good.
So now all the coffee grounds.
It's great to capture that, and then you can put it in your garden, and it makes your garden grow, and the worms love it.
Oh yeah.
I think it'd be pretty good to get one of those to take home, because I got a garden and I'm gonna be retiring here one of these days soon, I hope.
City of Ventura Environmental Services Office, they subsidize these handy little worm bins.
Factor out a gaseous diffusion differential factor on that because we don't want to pollute the atmosphere of the office. We've got to figure out the dispersal rates. I'm concerned about the compost thing, that the Euro guy will come in and they might smell that stuff in the office and wonder what's going on here, you know. So
Worms eat the coffee grounds, and they also eat all our vegetable scraps. So, great. I appreciate the input. Rick, your crews are assigned with getting these at every
How many of these darn things we got to put out now?
we want one of these at every coffee machine, and we want these to be adequately spaced. Work with the engineer to figure out the correct spatial arrangement to get enough room.
Well, I gotta work with him.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
I think some good ideas, but it's gonna take a lot of work. Us guys are gonna have to put all that stuff out. I don't know. Have to figure out how the heck we're gonna do that, but we'll do it somehow.
From now on, we're going to buy this paper that's made out of recycled content. This is 50% post-consumer materials.
50% post-consumer materials. That means that 50% of that paper is made out of recycled paper. Wonderful.
Exactly.
I'm so glad to see.
Are they gonna make toilet paper out of that too?
There
He's
is
on.
post-consumer toilet paper.
Is there?
available.
I'll be
Sure
darned.
there is. So let's give it a try and let's see what happens.
All right, Marion. Okay, last thing I want to show you too is I noticed in our break room we have some utensils made out of plastic. I got this material called biodegradable flatware. This is actually made from wheat-based materials. It's not used with any chemical, petrochemical.
How about when you're eating steak? Every time I eat steak, I use those plastic fork things and they break right off.
Well, let me tell you something. If your truck's doesn't start a business with it again, you won't be able to afford steaks anymore. All right?
there's going to be a chemical problem with the eating biological food with those biodegradable things, because they have a reaction with the food and make you sick.
I finally got a good thing coming. I spent a lot of research to find this stuff.
I personally still feel they need to do some costing out and some studies on this and get some proper formulas going.
And then this cup is made from recycled materials, right?
That'll break down and the worm.
Oh yeah, the worms will eat it.
The worms will eat this.
You bet they will. corn-based
cool.
resin. It's,
Wow,
cool.
that's pretty.
yeah, isn't that neat?
I'll be good.
Rick, we want to see those compost buckets at all the coffee
Yeah, I
machines
know.
by tomorrow.
I gotta put all this stuff down, 100 some bin, 100 some coffee things. I don't know, I'll see what I can do.
All right.
This is really great. I see a lot of growth, a lot of opening, a lot of embracing of new ideas. I think this is really great. It's a good start. I think Eurotrex is going to be very happy with our progress.
I'm feeling good about this here. It's going to work out.
I'm gonna try.
Oh, I'm seeing a lot of improvement. I'm starting to see the staff come around and they're participating in this program. It's very encouraging at this point.
What is this? What? This isn't supposed to be here. This is a safety hazard. What is this doing here? This is a hazard. This is dangerous. I can't even get my cup of coffee.
Well, don't you think you're being a little over dramatic?
No, I don't think so. Not when I break my back and I fall down. Now you saw what happened. I was right all along. We should have done an engineering study on this. We should have costed it out. We should have done a space study on it. And we'd had some good formulas on spacing distribution of the recycling boxes and bins and this stuff. It would have been all right.
Well, you have a good point. What would you suggest we do with this?
There's got to get some control on this thing and some planning on it.
If you're blind and looking around to get to I understand. You know, he really he can over dramatize stuff very easily. So I think he was a little, purposefully making a point.
Because
But-
most people do not expect to see something
Yeah.
like this when they come up to
Right.
get their coffee. What if they had the hot coffee in their hand and struck it and spilled it
All
over
right,
themselves?
Okay, but it is great that the recycling's happening and there's our compost bin right here.
Recycling could be exciting if it's worked out well. If it's worked out well and there's a proper plan to it. But Ray just went in totally crazy on this thing, and now it's when the Euro people come in next week, I wonder what they're going to think when they start tripping.
How to
It's just got to be a different
recycle
place.
the compost.
It's got to
I
be
agree.
thought out a little
I
bit better.
agree. Okay.
And it could have all been avoided if I'd been able to work a formula out on spacing, number of bins per cubicle and everywhere like that, and then maybe closed off safety areas. This is a
Right.
safety area. we could
Okay,
put
how about
stuff over
this?
there.
I have an idea. Well, how about if we bring it up at the next meeting and I'll support you
All right.
and we
All right,
will
thank you.
show that. We will discuss it at the next
Thank you.
meeting.
All right, that'll work.
But in
That'll
the
work.
meantime, we do need to make a good point, though, at the meeting, how beneficial this has been.
I
And
got you.
I'll make sure to mention at the meeting
good.
how wonderful the compost we're getting from the worms.
I got stuff to do. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Okay, Robert. He's got some good points, and I will support him at the next staff meeting, and maybe we can figure out what to do with the spatial stuff on the recyclables and the recycling containers.
And that's I'm becoming more and more from a safety issue on this thing because they're just Ray's going crazy on this. He's just grabbing up bins and containers and compost and everything. He's just throwing them everywhere, and there's more of them than there are people.
I am very pleased about the way our recycling program is finally, after all this, it is sailing along. I think we're on our way to having a #1 recycling program. Mary and I really owe a lot to you for helping to get that program on track. It's kind of interesting the different glitches we had along the way. The whole thing about the too many bins in some of the desks and some of the offices.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That solution of yours is wonderful. And actually, last time I talked to Rick, is that it's less work for his employees. He said, it used to be people were throwing mostly papers in those trash cans.
Right.
Now that people are pulling them out, putting them in their own boxes, and now we empty those in the centralized container, his staff actually has less work emptying the trash cans. So this has been good for his custodial staff.
That worked out well.
Yeah, so that makes this recycling program a real selling point just from that. I mean, this would have been good for us to do before just from an efficiency standpoint.
Yes, we hadn't even thought of that when it was all being discussed and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
It's wonderful to see the way the group is just pulled together and we have this common goal and it's all centered around recycling. It's been a wonderful experience. I really have to say you've been a real champion for the recycling program, and I don't think it would have worked if you hadn't been there, kind of championing it along, because there were a lot of people that were very reluctant about this program from the start.
Yeah, thank you. That's nice to hear.
And here's the really good news, and this is why I'm really happy. I called Eurotrex back, and Eurotrex has agreed to reconsider our contract.
Really? Excellent.
If we get Eurotrex back, we are back in the gold again.
Yeah.
And in fact, I have a meeting set up with Eurotrex in 2 weeks. He's coming back here.
Okay.
And I can't wait for him to come back because I'm going to have my new manager of environmental services join me on that meeting with him. Yeah.
Who will that be? Is there someone new you're hiring?
Yeah, well, congratulations to my new environmental services manager.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I am totally excited. That's quite the validation, and it's going to be an opportunity to really excel this company into the environmental realm.
Is that a job you're going to be willing to accept?
Yes, I definitely would like to.
I thought you would be excited. You'd be
Environment,
perfect for it. I mean, you got what it takes. You have a great working relationship with the City of Ventura Environmental Services Office, who will help us every step of the way. And congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, cool. I appreciate it. I definitely will accept that. And
I gave a promotion to our human resources manager, Marion. She will now be our environmental manager.
you know, there's a coastal cleanup coming up. Do you know anything about coastal cleanups with Partners in Progress?
No, I
City of
haven't.
Ventura?
No, I haven't heard of that.
Well, at scheduled times, Partners in Progress will put on a coastal cleanup where volunteers will go and clean up the beach.
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's going to be one tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day on the ocean.
You
so.
know, and that would be a good thing for me to go to with my new environmental services manager. Maybe there's some things we could bring back. Maybe we could join, our company can join Partners in Progress and be a sponsoring member.
Very cool.
It would fit in completely with the best
Totally.
environmental practices.
Yes.
Marion and I will be attending a coastal cleanup day tomorrow, or a coastal cleanup with an organization she's told me about. It's called Partners in Progress. Say I'd pick you up about 8:45.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Sure. That would work for me. I would like that.
All right, I'll carpooling and all. It
Yeah.
saves energy.
Exactly. Yeah. Carpooling.
I mean,
would be
maybe
great.
carpooling. Maybe that's something as our new environmental services manager you could start. We could try it out.
We're gonna carpool, which is really good. That was his idea, which I thought that was a really good idea. So we'll see what happens.
Recycling is what got us into the best environmental practices. Now we need to expand, and carpooling will be one of those. That helps reduce the number of emissions. So I thought she lives near there, and hey, what a better opportunity to show everybody, demonstrate by example than carpooling.
I think it's sort of like a supplemental work thing. It kind of ties into work, but it's also kind of a, non-business in a way too. I think that's a really good idea.
Okay, then we're on.
Okay, cool.
8:45.
So I'll see you at 8:45, and just bring a sweater, light sweater, in case it gets a little chilly,
All
and a
right.
hat, sun hat. Sunscreen is good.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else?
That's it.
All
See you
right.
tomorrow about 8:45.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay,
Bye. Well, yeah, we have 2 weeks before Eurotrek gets here, and with my new environmental manager, we will be on track for Eurotrex, and I can't wait till he comes to see what we've done. And we're going to do a lot more than in the next 2 weeks, and we are going to get that account back.